Hello folks, welcome to another video here in the Microsoft Sim. This will be a Freeware Friday episode featuring the aircraft on your screen that old mate's currently sort of chilling in. Hey, you always look like you're chilled as a pilot when you're flying a glider because you're sort of reclined, right? And old mate there, he's definitely looking chilled. This is the Discus-2C glider by the developers known as Got Friends. So there's a number of people involved in that enterprise. And what a fantastic bit of kit this is. I went for a fly yesterday around this location being Boonah in Queensland, southeast Queensland, probably about an hour and a half or something from central Brisbane, I suppose. I've spent some time down here over the years. The airport here is modelled okay. This is sort of just default airport. Nothing fancy here. Some of these buildings are a little bit unrepresentative of the real thing, but close enough. The strip looks very much like Boonah. It's often this brown, a grass strip about 1,200 or 1,300 metres or something long, which is plenty long enough for the aircraft that they get down into here. And there's quite a few. There's quite a variety of aircraft that visit Boonah or that live at Boonah. Used to anyway, from my memory. There is a gliding club that sits right there. I think it's there or there, one of those two. I think it's both. Boonah Gliding Club, folks. If you're in this part of the world and you feel like going for a bit of a glide, give the boys and girls at the Boonah Gliding Club a call. This is not a promotion for the Boonah Gliding Club. I've got no association with them. I just know that they're into the gliding stuff. They've got some good kit, and they'll look after you if you're keen to go for a glide. And who isn't, hey? Who isn't? So today we're flying in this aircraft. This is the Discus-2C, as I mentioned, and the quality of this is just fantastic. Very impressive. I went for a fly yesterday, and really impressed by it. I'm not normally I don't go looking for gliders in simulators, mainly because there aren't that many, and the whole gliding caper isn't terribly well modelled, at least in my experience. In your normal I was going to say generic simulators, but I think the guys here have done a pretty bloody good job, considering what they have to work with around SDK and stuff. So this is a great bit of kit. So the canopy opens and it closes simply by clicking this little red lever. Down she comes. You see the panel drop in. You've got your legs under there. You're sort of leaning back. Yeah, have a look at the visual modelling. It's pretty good, the texturing and stuff. Freeware, folks. Freeware. There is going to be a payware sort of release, from my understanding, a premium version. This is the standard version, as I take a sip of my nice warm bevy. We might have a look. Let me start with what impresses me. Not the most, the aircraft impresses me, but something that really matters to me, and that is the documentation that comes with the aircraft. So let me show you that. So here is said documentation, very well presented. The Discus-2C glider by Got Friends. This is the standard package that was released over on the flightsim.to, and I'll put a link to it in the description. So this manual comes with the download, part of the zip file. So it gives you an introduction, a bit of history of the glider. All the specs that you would expect, and the performance and max speeds, etc. Explanation of what you're seeing on the dashboard. I'm just noticing the rego. Wowza, I like that. And it's really well done. Really clear as to what's involved. It's a fairly simple instrument panel, but very functional and yeah, tailored towards a glider. So this is not just some sort of default instrumentation that's been thrown in here. It's all reflective of the real thing, and it's really well done. Talks about what the yaw string's about. That's kind of important in a glider. The flam. My purpose here is not to go through the manual and read it out to you. Yeah, all the different stuff, what it all means, lots of nice colours and labels and stuff. It's all really clear, nice, clear images, well labelled, as I said, well explained, what everything means, and you just keep going on and on and on and on and on. As I tend to do in some of these videos. But my purpose here is just to show you that This is not just your average freeware. This is, in terms of quality and in terms of support, this is right up there, folks. And I'm really pleased to present quality freeware on this channel. And thank you to the developers. These are all the guys. All the acknowledgements there that have played a part. It does take a community effort to produce a work of this quality. And congrats to you all. So, let's go flying. Now, just before we do go flying, I should mention that this aircraft comes with a bunch of weather presets, which are kind of set up to help you have a more enjoyable gliding experience. Now, I'm not going to run with those presets today. I'm running with live weather, which apparently looks like this down in Boonah this morning. It's currently the middle of summer here in Australia. So temperature-wise, we're probably... does it tell me what the temperature is? Maybe not. We're probably in the mid-20s at the moment, and we'll probably get up to the early 30s down here in Boonah today. So there'll be a little bit of heat, a little bit of convection happening. And they do gliding here, as I mentioned, in real life. So there is some, the local surrounds do provide opportunities to stay airborne for a while. I'm deliberately not choosing any of those presets because I actually don't want to stay airborne for too long. I kind of want to get airborne, go for a really quick fly, and land. The purpose of this video is just to I guess, briefly show it. And if you're into the gliding caper, check out those weather presets and see what you can do. There is challenge to be had in flying gliders in terms of staying airborne and going somewhere. We're not going anywhere today. We'll just do a lap of the block here in Boonah. So just briefly, in terms of the instrumentation, I mentioned it. It's covered by the manual, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. The quality of it, I just want to stress that again, how good it is. This little display here, so it's a kind of a dual purpose. One's the winch control, and we'll see that work in a minute. And then if you click the aeroplane button, it also goes into a bit of a nav mode, which is pretty handy. We won't make use of that today, but I explored that a little bit yesterday in my sort of first look at this aircraft, and yeah, very capable sort of aeroplane in terms of instrumentation. But back to winch mode. So, what else do we need to worry about? Not much. This thing does have spoilers, which are, I've got them mapped. So you'll see the fences come out. They come in kind of handy when you need to get down and get slowed up. Put them back in to the wing. It does have a retractable gear. It does not have flaps, being a glider. It does require work around the ballast. That's kind of important. I've just gone with what it comes with by default, and it tends to, well, to me it seems to work. What else? Nothing else. We'll go local baro, which seems to be just about 1014, something like that. Nice stable weather here in this part of the world. Alright, let's go for a fly. So what will happen is I'll click the connect button. The aircraft will right itself. Well, before that, I'll click the connect, and we've got to set up how long the cable is. So it comes with, and you've got to imagine there's a cable in front of you. There is also an option to have a tow plane, but you need a separate sort of add-on to do that. I don't have that. I don't think I'm going to bother with that. For me, I'm just happy to imagine that there's a winch and it works. I think down here in Boonah they do use tow planes though. As I take another sip of my bevy. So what I'll go for is a 2,000 metre cable and 150 k per hour. So I want to get us a little bit of height before the cable snaps. And give us, a few minutes in the air over Boonah. Anyway, that's the plan. So when I click the launch button, the aircraft will right itself. Give us a countdown, a 3-second countdown, and then we're going to take off. This is runway 04 here in Boonah. Yeah, so let's do it. Click launch, the aircraft rights itself, away we go. And away we go. So we need a little bit of left boot there, pal. And we're airborne. So you're having a look at the display there. You're trying to keep the aircraft sort of in the center of the target, or there enough, or thereabouts. Shows you how much cable's left. And we continue the climb. And that cable will snap. There we go. And we will now be flying on our own. There's the town of Boonah off to the left-hand side of the aircraft. And what we'll do is we'll try and fly a circuit, a visual circuit here of Boonah in the glider. Residents of Boonah would be used to seeing these birds. Important to fly them in balance. I'm not doing a particularly good job right at the moment. We're doing about 100 kilometers an hour, so we're just below sort of best rate of climb. We're not climbing. We're kind of maintaining altitude. There's the strip down there, so we're kind of flying a very close downwind. Of course, the true challenge with glider is finding the suitable pockets of air that gets you elevated and staying airborne for as long as you need to travel where you need to travel. And there are lots of different challenges involved in gliding competitions, which yeah, I must explore again in a little bit more detail one day. Anyway, there's the strip. So we're staying close by. It feels like we're, you know, we're barely descending, which is kind of true. We're not dropping too much. We're going to fly a tight circuit, folks. That's the plan here. It sounds like it's haunted. You're hearing the woo. That's all by design, folks. It's a very quiet experience, and those sounds do actually matter to real professional glider pilots. It tells you what's kind of happening. So we'll fly a tight left base here back to 04. We might end up a little bit high. In fact, there's no doubt whatsoever. So what we can do is drop the speedy brakes. Spoilers come out. See them there. Tight base 04, Boonah, folks. That's the plan. Here we go. What I should have done is retract the gear. I left the gear. I did that yesterday as well. I forgot that you can actually retract the gear. So I've left it down. Here we go. Over the road. Actually coming in a little bit hot, to be honest. Line us up properly, fella. Runway 04, here we go. We'll bleed that speed off. Very, very low flare. Trying to keep it level, the wings level. We are on. Trying to keep those wings level for as long as we can. We will pull up pretty quickly. Trying to keep those wings level. We will see a wing drop as we run out of momentum. Looks like we're going to drop the left. We are. There we go. About midfield. Just before midfield. There we go, folks. Simple as that. Now, there's a lot more to the aircraft in terms of instrumentation and in terms of what everything means and what it takes to actually operate a glider efficiently and effectively. I'll leave that for others. I just wanted to showcase the release of this aircraft and just let me get those spoilers in and just show and thank, really, this is about thanking the developers for making this available to the community. Fantastic bit of kit. Thanks all for your company, as always, and we'll see you in the next video.